Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, March 27th of 2022. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. And it all begins with healing ourselves. Today's topic is on healing the pain of loneliness and understanding the pain of loneliness so that we can bring true healing to it in a very deep way. So let's begin by coming into our circle. Let's imagine ourselves all coming together, sitting in circles, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And let's bring our hearts together to face the center of our circle and all of our senses and our bellies and everything. And as we come together as one, we call to our source directly. We call to you. We ask you to send your vibration of your pure divine light. And let's imagine this pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle. And this light is a cleansing, purifying light. Just perceive this pure, cleansing light, purifying the space, our virtual space, cleansing the space, and everything that we bring to it. And let this light, as it fills all of the space in front of you, let it touch your skin, like sitting in the warmth of the sun, the gentle warmth of the sun, and feeling it on your skin. And let yourself absorb the warmth and the light through your pores and into your body. And as this light travels in through your pores and into your body, just let it cleanse and purify and bring light to all of the places within yourself. Cleansing and purifying anything that doesn't need to be there, that is not serving your highest purpose in this moment. Just letting it be cleansed and purified and released, dissipated from your body. And for those that are the places, in the Sufi teachings, I've been reading a lot of teachings from a Sufi mystic and scholar, Ibn al-Arabi, Muhyiddin Ibn al-Arabi, and is just brilliant. And one of the things I read this past week, the light, we translate as light and darkness. And then, when we associate darkness with evil or, really bad things, but a perhaps more accurate translation is light and light blocking. So there is light and there is light blocking. And the light blocking casts a shadow. And the shadow is just the places where the light has not shone or has not shined, and we don't have knowledge of it. Because it's been dark, we have not been able to see it. We have not been able to access it. So when you think of the light illuminates and brings knowledge, right? Helps us to see, to awaken to knowledge. The light blocking is just that which is casting a shadow so that we have not yet seen. So as we allow the light to come into those places, There are some that can just be dissipated and leave, that we don't need to bother ourselves with. They just don't have a place here. They're old stuff that can just go away. And there's others that where the light can shine into those places so that we increase in knowledge, and we can integrate that knowledge into our beings and assimilate that into our beings so that we can move forward in life and throughout our life with greater knowing and a more complete knowledge of a situation, right? Is it Marie Curie that says that we fear what we don't know? Now is the time to, we fear what we don't understand. Now is the time to understand more so that we can fear less. So let the light, as it travels through your body, shine on those places inside of yourself that you have not understood, and bring knowing to those places, to release the fear, to release the misunderstanding, and bring the knowledge. Let that light travel all the way through your body and through your core. Use your breath to breathe it in. Inhale it all the way into your core. And as you exhale, just blow. Just blow out anything that is not needed from within yourself. And let it go. And let's come together again in the center of our circle. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your unconditional love. And just allow this unconditional love to stream into the center of our circle. And direct your heart center into the center of our circle, that funnel that extends from the front of your heart space. And let that funnel face into the center of our circle and tip up slightly, and let this stream of unconditional love just catch that in that funnel that extends from the front of your heart, and let it gently flow through this funnel and into your heart center. Let it flow in and through, and let it stream into your heart. And again, use your breath to breathe that in. And as you exhale, you can just release any of those blocks and barriers that you may feel, any of the constriction, the tightness, the boulders, as the case may be. And just release that. And with each inhale, let yourself inhale more deeply that unconditional love. And allow your heart to be loved. Allow your heart to feel the love that streams in, that is contained and carried in this unconditional love. Let it stream all the way in and through. And let it pour through your heart. Breathe it all the way in with your inhale. And as you exhale, just lean back and relax and let it pour all the way into the core of your body. You can imagine your conscious body. You can leave your body upright. Sometimes it really does help to have your body upright and your spine elongated. And let your conscious body lean back toward your spine, like leaning up against your spine. And let your heart receive that gentle stream of unconditional love to flow through your heart and all the way into your core. And just blow out any of the tension and receive, receive, receive. And again, together we call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your eternal compassion Just imagine this stream of compassion streaming into the center of our circle, along with the unconditional love and the pure divine light, filling all of the space that you're in. And this eternal compassion is an ocean. So just imagine this ocean just filling up the space beneath you and around you and supporting you and holding you within this ocean, letting your entire being be held, supported, loved, contained, and allow yourself, if you will, as you breathe this in, just allow yourself to rest into this ocean and allow yourself to float and be held in this ocean, this perfect ocean of eternal compassion. This is our cosmic womb, the cosmic womb of our creation that holds and contains us all and all of our existence. Allow yourself to be held and supported, contained, and with each breath, breathing in that unconditional love. And as you exhale, just rest into this ocean of compassion that is holding you, loving you, accepting you, containing you, supporting you. Just rest into it and feel the love within you, feel the support and the acceptance that holds you and surrounds you. Feel the purity that is infusing into you with this light. And let yourself just breathe and be. Be. Be in the ocean and be the ocean. The poet Rumi says, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop." Just let your drop rest into the ocean and be one with the ocean. He also says, "These forms we seem to be are cups floating in an ocean of living consciousness." What we are is ocean. We identify with the cup, with the body, with the material, the physical. What we are is ocean, too near to see, though we swim in it and drink it in. Don't be the cup with the dry rim. Allow yourself to be immersed in the ocean and just float. Float, swim, play, whatever you feel called to do. Allow your being to rest into the ocean, to get wet, to be saturated and satiated and hydrated and filled. And rest into the ocean and be. Be. Today's topic is about loneliness. It is about the pain of loneliness, that feeling of loneliness, and that feeling of separateness. It's about understanding the loneliness and allowing it to be a source of healing for the heart. I want to start with a story because this is one that it's one that I experienced and had an incredible healing with. So I want to share that with you as an example of how your being can be transformed through the pain of loneliness. When I first studied with my spiritual teacher, I shortly after went to live in a community in California that was dedicated to his teachings, to studying his teachings and to learning together. And during this time, I worked there as well, and I was a middle manager, if you will. Right? There were all the spiritual teachers and the teachers and the teachers of the spiritual teachings, shall we say? So there were all the teachers there, and then we had a school of healing. and I was like the manager over the school. So then there were other people that worked there that were, they were employees and also fellow community members. And, if you've ever been in a management position, there can be a lot of struggles that happen in management that is not always a good idea when you just need to have that person to vent to, or to be your go with friend, your be with friend. It is not always a good idea to do that with the employees, and you can't always vent. You just sometimes need that time to vent before you can just, be with the people you're venting about as well. And so, there were those times where sometimes the struggles were real and they were hard, and yet I didn't have a person to be with in those struggles. And those times could become so very lonely. And my heart would just ache because I felt so alone, and there was no one to confide in, or to talk to, or, to just be with, to feel better. And I remember this one night where my heart was aching so bad. It was just like this intense grief. And it really was a grief because I felt so lonely and so alone. And there was just no one to call on and no one to turn to. And all of the usual coping strategies that we go to when we're feeling lonely and in pain, eating, drinking, all of those things. Those were not an option at that time. I didn't, it just felt, number one, long given up drinking, but even the eating and distracting with television or, anything like that, it just didn't feel like an option. I felt the call and the pull to really be with the pain and the grief in my heart. So I decided to just be with it, to just be present and allow the pain to move, allow myself to feel it, allow myself to grieve, right? And on some level, my soul just knew that this was a brilliant opportunity to bring the aching heart to the source that could truly fill it, and fill it once and for all, right? And I remembered this poem by the poet Hafiz, the Sufi mystic and poet Hafiz. And the poem says, "Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut more deep. Let it ferment and season you as few human or divine ingredients can. Something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need for love absolutely clear, my need for God absolutely clear." It has, depending on the translation that you read, but it just being with that poem. Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut to the depths that few other things or people or anything can reach within you. And let yourself be with the tenderness and with your need for God. Need for love on a higher level. Because this is a place deep within yourself that knows the love that you are separate from, or feeling separate from. You're not separate from it, but you're feeling separate from. And the part inside of you that is grieving for it is the part that knows it, and it's calling for it. And yet, what you have separated from yourself is within you, and it is calling you home. It is calling you home. So in this time, back to my story, I called directly on Source, on the one and only. And I allowed myself, like I say to us all the time, be heart to heart and face to face with your Source. And I allowed myself to just be in that intensity of that light. And then an interesting thing happened because I felt myself beginning to fall and fall and fall and fall. And it literally felt like I was just falling down a cold, dark hole, like falling down a well. But I allowed myself to just keep falling down this well until it's like I went through the pit of my heart and into this deep bottom. And I finally just gently landed on the bottom. It felt like I was sitting at the bottom of this well on a dirt floor. But it felt okay to be there, like I finally landed. And once I landed, it's like the well began to fill with this most loving, nurturing, cool water of just mercy. And I was just filling and filling and filling and absorbing this water of love and mercy into every cell of my body until I was hydrated and satiated. And it just like, I felt like the pain was just, as this water came into that pit of my heart, like in that place where the pain was, it just cooled it. Like it put the fire out and cooled it. And it just felt like it felt hydrated, satiated. It felt cool. It felt comfortable. It felt content. It felt complete, right? Like I'd surrendered my loneliness to God. And in that moment, at last, I was fulfilled. And it's like, even though all those times of loneliness that had been so painful, I suddenly saw them as the most exquisite time because they had allowed me to get to that place where I could finally have that contentment inside of myself and that completeness inside of myself. And all of those times before when I'd been lonely and I had just thrown myself away and done things I didn't really want to do just to fit in somewhere so I could have somebody to be with and to go with and to do with, or I allowed myself to be disrespected so that I could just have someone in my life to help me to feel like I was okay. It's like I never had to do that anymore because I don't feel the loneliness anymore. And this has been back 25 years ago that this happened. I don't feel the loneliness anymore. It doesn't cause the pain. It doesn't have that effect anymore. And it's a completely different and empowering world to live in. And a beautiful contentment. So, again, I'll remind you to breathe in that pure divine light, to allow that unconditional love to flow in through your heart and fill you, and allow yourself to rest into the ocean of eternal compassion. I'm going to read from the chapter in The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace, about the question of loneliness. As it came through, the question is, sometimes I feel so lonely, the pain is unbearable. I want companionship, someone who loves me. Someone to love who loves me. Is that possible? The response is, beloved, I love that you know your loneliness. Disconnecting from this knowing, the knowing of loneliness, denying your pain, is a great source of addiction and can bring even more pain and dysfunction to your life and the lives of your loved ones, right? Because when we feel that pain and we want to deny that pain, disconnect from that pain, distract ourselves from the pain, this is when we go to those coping strategies that can become addictions and compulsive behaviors and all of those things where we end up doing things we sometimes rather not do. Sometimes we can find things that are going to give us some satisfaction and fulfillment and community and those kind of things, and that's beautiful. But sometimes we just, we have those little coping strategies that turn into dysfunction. So back to the reading. As painful as it is, know your loneliness. I am calling you home to yourself to know me in your heart. I am here. Do not give in to the behaviors that distract you from your pain, those that can cause or result from addiction. Be with me. Stay with me. I will fill you up and make you whole and complete. I will give you what no human being can. To expect a human to fill your emptiness is not fair to either of you. It's beyond the capacity of a human's ability. Instead, turn to me. Call to me from your heart. Turn the opening in your heart to my river of love that flows from my infinite ocean and allow me to fill you up. Receive. 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 Be filled. Allow my love to fill you, satiate you, hydrate you, saturate you. You can become complete in my love and only in my love. And then I can bring you a companion who can meet you, one who is also complete, to have a healthy interactive exchange. One without dependence and neediness that can never be filled by another human being. Fill up with my love to know yourself, complete yourself, be true to yourself, be me. I am love. My love is within you waiting to fill your cup. Be me. Turn to me. Let me fill you. I am here. You are loved. You are love. Be the ocean. Be the ocean. The poet Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. The yearning that sits underneath the pain of loneliness is you seeking you. It is the depth of your own being, the divine essence within yourself, the divine power within yourself, seeking you and calling you home. So allow yourself to be. So I invite you, if you are feeling the pain of loneliness, or you're aware of coping strategies that you use when you experience loneliness, let's just take those, like taking them, lifting them out of let's take the coping strategies first and the behavioral patterns, and like lifting those out of your heart and out of your body, and just offer those into the center of the circle, into this container of light and love and compassion, and allow them to be healed, allow them to be transformed, transmuted, dissipated, and released from your body. And if your heart is feeling that pain of loneliness or the depth of loneliness, or you have a memory of it there, or you know of a place inside of yourself that is yearning to feel complete, to feel loved, to feel whole, Just let your heart, allow yourself, if you can, to be present with that pain, with that loneliness, and allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel it in your heart. Know that this is you calling yourself home, your own divine self calling you to return. And just let your heart, again, come face to face with your source. Imagine, call directly to your highest, right? Whatever that is for you. As one of my friends, Anthusa, says, the God of my understanding, right? So call to the God of your understanding, the Most High, the one and only, the source, the light, great spirit, whatever that is for you. Just let yourself call directly to it, and let your heart bring that yearning in your heart to face directly into this source, into this light, and let it, literally, let the light shine on it, right into that place in your heart, and allow this light and the water of mercy that flows from this light and the unconditional love that flows, just let this come directly into that place of pain in your heart. So allow yourself to be with it, facing your source, and let that place within you be filled. Let it fill up. And just breathe with it. Allow your breath to expand that space as you inhale. And as you exhale, just release, kind of excavating the any of the old patterns or beliefs or blocks or stories. Just let them go. They don't matter in the grand scheme of things. What is more important than any story is that you allow this love to come in and carry you home to the depth of yourself, where you are complete, where you know yourself, where you know your connection with your source, and where you can be fulfilled. Let this pure, unconditional love stream in, breathe it in, and again, as you exhale, just let your heart center relax. Let your heart center relax and receive, and receive. Allow yourself to receive. And inhale all of this energy into the core of your body. And as you exhale, drop in, drop down, land into your hips, and receive, receive, receive. And bring that in. And just allow yourself to receive. Does this mean that everyone who receives will be perfect or perfected? We're still human beings. What changes is our reliance on where we turn to, what we rely on when we feel the needs that deep inside of ourselves we know cannot be met by another human being. Does it mean that we don't need each other anymore? No. Does it mean that we can't really enjoy companionship and have that need and that deep yearning love for one another? No. We can still have that. But when it comes to these places of, the coping strategies or the defense mechanisms that we put up around love and relationship, this can really help to heal those places in ourselves so that we're not depending on other people for what other people cannot provide. We can receive that directly from Source, and we can connect in with that inner well of this pure love and the knowledge of that and the knowledge of how to connect with that and go there for the things that we seek. What you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. So breathe in this pure divine light, this unconditional love, the eternal compassion. And the name in the divine names for the unconditional love is Wadud. Wadud. So the wa is a sound that is, it means and, it means union, it means connection. Right, and the d is like the divine life force energy. That oo is unifying with it and embodying it, right? And so let yourself, as you call on Wadud, the unconditional love, just bring those sound codes into your body. So recite the Wa and Wa. You know, really that whoa, it's kind of like a whisper. And in the Arabic language, the ooh and the wah come from the same letter, the ooh. So just let yourself bring that sound of vibration into your body. Let it ripple through the fluids of your body, and let it join you with your source. It's like it's almost a whisper, a quiet letter, and it's what's known as a letter that's associated with a phase of the moon that is a waning phase of the moon, which are the times where they're the less light, right? Where we're going inward and turning inward. So allow yourself, as you just bring this sound of the wah, let it be like a whisper that takes you inside yourself to unify with the all that is, right? Unify with that divine intimacy within the depth of your own heart, and allow yourself again to be filled by the one and only, the source of all, the source of love itself. Whoa. Whoa. And let that sound vibration radiate through your heart and help your heart to open to that divine life energy and to unify with that divine life energy, and allow your heart to be filled and filled and filled. What we are is ocean, too near to see, though we swim in it and drink it in. So allow yourself to swim in it and drink it in, all the way into the core, into the depth of your heart. Don't be the cup with the dry rim. Allow yourself to be immersed in the ocean, filled with the ocean, loved by the ocean, connected in the ocean, belonging in the ocean. It is your true home. Your true home. Wah. 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 And allow yourself to drink it in and continue to drink it in. I invite you to continue to drink it in throughout the day, throughout the week. Carry this with you. Let it really fill your heart and heal your heart. And know the understanding, give yourself the knowledge and the understanding of the depth of loneliness within your heart is the source within you calling you home to the depths of yourself. And with that, we'll move into the prayers for peace and healing for the situation in Ukraine and in our world and throughout our world, all of the places of oppression and of violence and of war. And so for those listening to the recording, for those who are staying on, please just center in this place of receiving the love and being in the ocean. And for those listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. Find the information for joining us live at joyfullylivingwellness.com or thecommunityforconsciousliving.com. The Community for Conscious Living. No, I'm sorry, not the community. It's communityforconsciousliving.com. Find the information for joining us live there. And while you're there, sign up to receive reminders and replays. And you'll also receive a free gift, which is a one-sheet reminder of the truth of who you are, what you are, why you're here, what this world is about, to help you to keep things in perspective. Remember who you are and remember to continue to return to that. There's a 15-minute guided meditation that you can download in audio form that you can use as a part of your daily practice to help you to connect with this divine light, the unconditional love, the eternal compassion that is the core of your very own existence. So I invite you to take advantage of all of that and join us live next Sunday. And I'll end the recording and move into the prayers for peace. Thank you.